Coming up on Murrow News 8, we'll break down the big legal victory for WSU in the Whitman County Superior Court that happened yesterday.
And we'll hear from WSU President Kirk Schultz about the university's next steps after the victory, coming up next.
From the Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University, this is Murrow News 8.
Happy Hump Day, everybody. I'm Brendan Jin.
And I'm Monique Ledesma. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
Yesterday evening, Whitman County Superior Court Judge Gary Leiby granted a preliminary injunction that established Washington State University and Oregon State University as the sole members of the Pac-12 Board of Governors and are now in control of the conference assets that have been reported to exceed $400 million. The board is also in charge of media right negotiations, approving conference bylaws, inviting new members, and other large decisions for the conference. WSU President Kirk Schultz is happy with yesterday's decision.
I feel good, obviously, afterwards. We felt really strongly about our case, and I thought our legal team did a great job of not just summarizing it, but reinforcing those particular points. So we feel good moving ahead and want to continue to operate the conference in a responsible fashion.
University of Washington and the Pac-12 added stipulations to the preliminary injunction, including that WSU and OSU must give the departing 10 schools notice of any board meetings and will invite all conference members to participate, communicate, and provide input for decisions made by the two board members. The next focus for WSU is to finalize a schedule for football before the transfer portal opens on December 4th.
Yeah, I mean, I know both the ADs at Oregon State and WSU are working really hard on what that's going to look like, and the transfer portal opens up really soon, so we feel that pressure, and we've been working on that in parallel to some of the legal things, and so that'll continue to move forward as aggressively as we can. Our players need to know, our coaches need to know, our fans want to know, the president wants to know, so we're going to keep working on that.
With the victory in the courtroom, students are hopeful for the future of WSU athletics.
It's good to see some positive movement with the Pac-12 or Pac-2 or whatever they're calling it.
I wanted to know more about it. I know there's a lot of information out there that I don't personally know.
I was happy, but at the same time, we don't really have a lot of opportunities based off of what we have left from the lawsuit, because it's just two of us. It's OSU and us.
Personally, I'd hope we get in a better conference, or our conference is good so we can be competitive.
I hope we can find like a new conference to join or make, but I think we'll probably end up in the Mountain West Conference, so hopefully we can find something out with them.
Hopefully we still get the Apple Cup every year. That'd be fun.
I do genuinely just want the boys to be able to play and kind of just being supportive, and like the school being able to maintain kind of like all the costs of things. Like I don't want them to have to like lose players or like move from Wazoo specifically. Like I want the boys to be able to still enjoy the game and play.
We want to win because we're the Cougars.
After a week of work, Avista Utilities has restored natural gas services to about 32,000 customers in the Palouse and in the Lewiston and Clarkston Valley. Last Wednesday afternoon, the Williams pipeline was ruptured during construction and forced many businesses and schools to shut down at the end of last week. There are still about 250 customers who still need help, but Avista has expanded their staffing levels to complete the visits by the end of today. If you still need help with a relight, you can call Avista at 1-800-227-9187.
And a reminder, as you might be traveling for the holidays that are coming up and the weather getting colder, keep your heater on when you leave for a weekend or vacation. If your heat is turned off, it could cause a pipe to freeze and potentially burst. If you do leave and want to drop the temperature, set it between 60 and 68 degrees, as it will still save you money and will prevent frozen pipes. In addition to holiday travels, here are some driving safety tips before you hit the road. Test your battery. Battery power drops as the temperature drops. So do tire pressures. Along with that, make sure you take your time and have enough gas in your tank to get to your destination. And once you're on the road, avoid using cruise control in wintry conditions and increase following distance to 8 to 10 seconds.
The Pullman Police Department has been receiving alerts of vehicle prowls around the town. To be safe, park in well-lit areas, lock your doors, roll up your windows, and remove all of your valuables from your car. If you see any suspicious activity, you can call the Pullman Police non-emergency dispatch number, which is 509-332-2521.
And if you're planning on walking or biking through Paradise Pathway in Moscow, Idaho in the night, be aware you might want to carry a type of flashlight with you. The city of Moscow will be installing an updated electric panel along Paradise Pathway starting today till Friday. During this time, the lighting on the path will be temporarily unavailable.
After the break, Maggie will get you ready for the weekend and let you know what to wear for Friday night's football game. Coming up next.
It's okay to be scared. You don't have to be so strong.
Strength is not optional. This is my mother, my purpose. Real muscle is lifting her spirits between bedpans and bad news from doctors that doubt her strength. Strength is buried in bills, managing meds, and swallowing those moments of, Mom, it's me, your daughter. Remember? My strength is super, but I'm still human, right?
Look who's here. There she is. Thanks for your patience. Thank you so much.
How you feel?
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community, or call 1-877-333-5885.
Well, it seems like the fall weather is upon us here on the Palouse, and we've already seen some rain outside today. Maggie, is that going to continue?
Yeah, I have to say it has been pretty cold, and today especially has been pretty rainy, but I am glad to announce that it is not going to be like that all week. As you can see today, we have a high of 48, and it is going to drop really low. It's going to be 28, which is the lowest we've seen this fall. And if you look into tomorrow, it's going to be similar, although we'll see that those rain clouds are going to start clearing up. It'll be a high of 44 and a low of 27, so a little bit colder, but no rain. It'll be dry. As we look across the state, that rain is pretty much all of the east side of the state. Tri-Cities, Pullman, and Spokane are all seeing some rain, and Yakima. But as we get across the pass, you can see that Olympia and Seattle, that west side, is seeing some clear weather, so that might be nice for those of you who are traveling this week to get to the west side where it's a little bit drier. For those who are hoping to get through Snoqualmie Pass this weekend, let's take a look at what that's going to look like. The best days to travel are going to be today, tomorrow, and Friday, because that's when it's going to be clearest, no rain, nothing like that. As you can see, it'll be in the 40s to 30 range in the degrees. As we get into Saturday afternoon and into Sunday, we're going to start seeing some rain and snow in the pass. So you're going to want to make sure you drive carefully if you are traveling those days. And I just want to make a warning that even though it says it's clear, you should still be driving and taking those tips from Monique earlier, because this is what clear looks like in the pass right now. It's still pretty foggy and visibility is not great. So make sure you keep that driving distance and be aware of your surroundings. Now looking at the 5-day forecast, you can see we're going to have some clear weather. It's still going to be very cold, high 20s to low 30s. But if you look over here on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's going to be clear but cold. So you'll want to bundle up for that game if you're sticking around. But overall, much nicer weather than we're having today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Well, thank you, Maggie. I'm so happy to hear that we're going to finally see some clear skies. Well, coming up, we'll give you the breakdown of the women's basketball win last night in Missoula.
And we'll preview the week ahead for Cougar Sports, coming up next.
Dad, they took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. Dad! You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now,
and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
WSU women's basketball team beat the Montana Grizzlies 61-49 on Tuesday in Missoula. Fifth-year center Bella Murrow led the Cougs with a career-high 22 points against the Grizzlies. The Cougs were tough defensively all night as they held the Grizz to a 33% shooting from the field, blocked 9 shots as a team, and forced 19 turnovers. With the win, the Cougs have started the season with a perfect 4-0 record as they attempt to defend their Pac-12 championship title from a year ago. WSU is still ranked 24th in the AP Top 25 rankings this week, and the Cougar women will now travel down to Texas to face off against the Prairie View A&M on Sunday. Charlize Ledger-Walker is turning heads early in the season after being added to the John R. Wooden Award Women's Player of the Year Top 50 watch list on Tuesday. The list highlights student athletes that are frontrunners for the Wooden Award All-American Team and Most Outstanding Player Award. This comes after last month, Ledger-Walker was one of the 20 players named to the Ann Maris Drysdale Award watch list and the Naismith Women's College Player of the Year watch list. And well, it's another busy week in Cougar athletics, and it all gets started on Friday night when the Cougs host the Colorado Buffaloes at Martin Stadium at 7:30 p.m. WSU is on a 6-game losing streak coming into this matchup, and both teams hold records of 4-6 this year. Friday's matchup is senior night for the Cougs, and it will be their final home game of the year. For Cougar volleyball, they're on the road this weekend facing off against the Mountain Schools. WSU will play Colorado on Friday at 6 p.m. in Boulder, and then they'll play the Utah Utes on Sunday at 11 a.m. in Salt Lake. For WSU basketball, the Cougar men have a big weekend ahead, starting off on Saturday when they play Mississippi State at 9 a.m. to begin the Basketball Hall of Fame tip-off in Connecticut. Depending on the result of that game, the Cougs will either play Northwestern or Rhode Island on Sunday. And finally, the Cougar women will hit the road once again to take on Prairie View A&M in Texas on Sunday in the Pac-12 SWAC Challenge. So Cougar sports fans have a lot to look forward to this weekend.
Thank you, Maggie, for that sports update. But after the break, find out why coffee lovers should be on high alert tomorrow. Next.
It feels like no matter where you look, the state of the world's getting worse. Oceans full of plastic, an endless amount of waste, an impossible task ahead of fixing our beloved planet. But change can't happen if you do nothing. So here's where you should start. Reduce. Why? Because Americans produce more than 200 million tons of waste every year, and you don't want to add to that. Reuse. Why? Because reusing and repurposing cuts back on unnecessary waste, and it gives things a chance at new life. Recycle. Why? Because recycling creates jobs, it helps our community, and it helps our planet. And after doing all this, what will we be left with? We'll be left with a planet that will slowly start to heal. We'll be left with more money in our pockets. We'll be left with more opportunity for work. And most importantly, we're left with hope for the future. So reduce, reuse, recycle.
Tomorrow is Red Cup Day. Starbucks is gifting a free 2023 reusable Red Holiday Cup to customers who order a handcrafted holiday beverage. Well, I know me and Maggie arranged to go together to go get a holiday cup tomorrow morning. Are you gonna go get one, Brendan?
I might. I'm not a big coffee drinker and I'm not big on Starbucks, but I guess it might be a good thing to get for my girlfriend, you know, maybe go out, gift that to her, I guess, if people drink coffee out of them. They're reusable, right?
No, yeah, you could put anything in there that's all. You could put coffee, teas.
Yeah, I don't usually go to Starbucks, but I always use those cups for my own drinks that I make at home.
All right, well, thanks for joining us tonight. Make sure to check out our social medias if you missed anything. Good night.